Esther is free now. No, scratch that. Extra is free. What now? What next? We have seen the freedom of a sex worker. We have seen her present. But the question really is, how is life for people like Esther after their freedom? Their life in the society, their relationships, and especially their sexual lives. For a woman who has all kinds of men with various sex drives and different styles, how would it be like starting off with a complete novice like Sean? How is Esther going to cope? How does life after freedom treat her really? I know strongly that there should be a part 2 of Lady and Her Gentleman. The story of Esther has to be explored properly. Usually, movies about sex workers and getting freedom just end after their freedom. But what really happens after they've gotten freedom for good? How do they cope? A Lady and Her Gentleman tells the story of a young girl, Esther, from a poor home where her dad can hardly afford any food for them, talk less of other things. On a good day, we see them eating gari, and even at that, her siblings are seen fighting over it. Her dad owes almost everyone in the neighborhood and constantly is hiding from his debtors. Esther's mom becomes tired of a poor man with 3 kids to fend for. She packs and abandons her kids and husband. Esther's father has to fend for 3 kids alone with no money and lots of debt. Esther once confronted one of her father's debtors, Jega, who seemed to threaten her father's life. Jega takes interest in her the moment she confronts her and decides to make her work for him to offset her father's debt. Taken in as a young girl, Esther reluctantly follows Jega to a brothel. She is initiated as a young girl but determined to make this sacrifice for her family. Esther works hard to fit in and becomes the most wanted and favorite girl in the brothel. She changes her name from Esther to Extra just so she can fit in. This movie needs to be commended for its realism. It is a very realistic story that tells a story that needs to be explored more. The chemistry between Uche Montana and Clinton Joshua was fire. We need to see that duo more often on screen. But why did we not see their first kiss and first sex? We needed to at least have a feel of how naive Sean will take it the first time with such an experienced person like Esther. But regardless, this needs to be commended. The movie had no kissing scene but had very good chemistry between these two. The more reason we need a part 2 to have a continuation of this good chemistry between Esther and Sean. But then, who noticed the friend of Sean? Man, his character was on point. His acting was just on point. This is my first time seeing his movie, but the guy is good. At a point, I was always looking forward to seeing him. Nollywood is not ready for this one. His name is Nelson Iwu. But wait, between Mama D and Jega, who really was the boss? Because when the movie first started, Jega was bargaining with Mama D how much he would take and all, and Mama D gets angry saying that she has to do a lot of touch on Esther and all, and therefore she's going to give him peanuts. And then Jega starts to beg her and accept the little money that she offered to give him. But at the latter part of the movie, we find out that Jega is shouting at Mama D, and Mama D is begging Jega like he is the boss. He calls the shot. That scene made me wonder, who really is the boss? Because Mama D was made to look like she's the owner of the girls and the brothel, and Jega just supplies the girls and gets his cut. But at the latter part, Jega is made to look like he is the boss and Mama D is a nobody. We also needed to understand what Jega meant by he eliminated Esther's older brother. Because we were made to understand from Esther's dad before he passed that Esther's brother was sick and died because they couldn't afford the bills. So how did Jega claim to have a hand in his death? And why is Esther bothered? If he had a hand in it, what happened to him? And did Esther once rebel against him? Because we know that the only time he attacks your family is when you rebel against him. That really needed to be explored more. Regardless, A Lady and Her Gentleman is a good watch and showing on Uche Montana TV on YouTube. Starring Uche Montana, Clinton Joshua, Nelson Iwu, Pearl SHIM, Nancy Desmond, Sean Ajayi, and many other amazing actors. Have you seen A Lady and Her Gentleman? Tell me what you think about it. What are your reviews for it? What would you rate this movie? And tell me if this movie should have a sequel or part 2. The name still remains Maame Abena Pokuaa. Drop a like for this video, share, and kindly subscribe to my channel. Please do well to watch other videos on the channel. See ya!